think I got everything clamped up in place. Everything seems to be nice and flush. Of course, after the glue sets and everything, we'll trim this to size and do any other finishing treatments we want to do on it. But for right now, I need to let this glue set for at least an hour. Now the debate always comes up, how much glue pressure do you need to apply to a joint? And the answer may surprise you. I see guys really crank down on these clamps until the bar bends, but when I spoke with a chemist at Franklin Titebond Company that makes the Titebond wood glue, he said all you really need is a silky smooth surface on both surfaces, and minimal pressure is all it takes to get that wood glue to react to the cellulose. So I've got these clamps on pretty tight, but not excessively so. I just want to make sure that all my joints are nice and tight, and I've got some good squeeze out to indicate that I've got enough glue. I'm not glue starved on any of the joints. So we're going to let this sit and come back and see what we can do to get this thing finished up and put in the kitchen. So I've come out to check the progress of the glue setting up. I just want it to be skimmed over a little bit so that I can use a chisel to remove that excess before it completely turns hard and sets up. So I'm going to take my clamps off and use a sharp chisel to come in here and just kind of peel that excess glue away. This just helps later when it comes time to smooth the surface. You aren't having to cut through all that hard glue. I like to use the bevel down because the bevel acts as a pivot and I can get just the right depth I need to cut that glue off. And it's a good technique to use when you're cutting joinery as well. Do it with the bevel down. So I'll just keep on doing this until it's all scraped off, and then we'll let it continue to set up. And once it's all dry, we'll come back and sand it and finish it. So instead of starting out with sanding, I decided to pull out my number 7 jointer plane and knock off the high spots on the top and bottom face. I checked my progress every once in a while with the straight edge until it was nice and flat. After planing, I used a random orbital sander starting with 80 grit sandpaper and worked my way up through 220 grit. Then I headed back over to the table saw to trim all the edges nice and square.